Zack Snyder's Justice League. Was it worth waiting 3 years, 4 months, and 3 days? Well, if you're somebody who despised the original Justice League of 2017 and wanted to see how the original project was initially meant to be, then yes, it was well worth it. Sure, its 4-hour runtime is definitely a mouthful to take in. However, those 4 hours takes its time to explore the characters who were not fully explored before. The plot was more cohesive and not as generic as the first time, and the dialogue and filmmaking as a whole is vastly improved from the original Justice League of 2017. Now, as I'm writing this, there are many videos on YouTube discussing why the Snyder Cut is a masterpiece, why it's genius, and why they do not love it. So I'm not going to do that because you already know why it's good, great, or whatever video essay you watched. I want to focus on the character. A character who vastly improved from the original Justice League and became the third best character of the movie behind Cyborg and Steppenwolf. You probably have a guess on who it is. I'm talking about The Flash. Now, before we talk about what changed with The Flash in the Snyder Cut, we need to talk about what was wrong with him before in Justice League. Disclaimer, I will be referring to the 2017 version of the film as Justice League and the 2021 version as the Snyder Cut. Barry Allen in Justice League was essentially a joke, the comedic relief of the film. He carried no emotional weight to the story, meaning you can take him out and nothing would change. He was essentially useless. Joss Whedon also cut out a lot of the work that Snyder originally had for the film, which would explain why so many things feel out of place, why the dialogue is strange, and why the cohesiveness is non-existent. And do not get me started on The Flash. The amount of idiotic lines he had in the film was outrageous. I can't even say them. Just roll the clip.
Quite been able to, like brunch. Like, what is brunch? You wait in line for an hour for essentially lunch. I mean, I don't know. People are a little slow.
Here's the thing. See, I'm afraid of bugs and guns and obnoxiously tall people.
Wow, it's like a cave.
Like a bat cave.
Should we bow or show our bellies?
I will also not forget about him saving the Russian family. I mean, what was the point of having that family there? Why were they there? They were the only ones there. Anyways, I'm sorry if this little rant seemed all over the place. I just needed to let you guys know what was wrong. Okay. Now we can see what went right with The Flash in the Snyder Cut. Well, in the Snyder Cut, The Flash is written much better than before. We get to actually spend more time with him as an individual, learn what's really going on in his life, bouncing from job to job to pay for a criminal justice degree because he wants to clear his father's name because he was wrongfully accused of killing his mother, something that we did not get before in the 2017 version. However, this scene right here carries more emotional baggage than it did before, but more on that later. Barry has a proper arc this time. Before, he was this joking speedster and stayed that way for 2 hours. In the Snyder Cut, although he jokes around at first, as the film goes on, he gradually grows into a dependable hero. We can see this journey from where he is constantly falling all over the place in battle and is really clumsy, to a hero who saves the day. Well, saves the Earth. Okay, so we're bringing back the scene from before of Barry and his dad talking in prison. This scene means so much more in this scene where Barry reverses time.
Dad. whatever happens, I want you to know your kid was one of them, Dad.
Absolute best of the best.
Make your own future. Make your own past. It's all right now.
We can see that his father's words mean so much more to him. Write your own future, write your own past. Although we heard this in Justice League, it essentially meant nothing because it didn't mean anything going forward. And that's what I mean when it's coherently bad. We get so many lines and dialogue that can mean so much more in later acts, but it doesn't since those other scenes are cut out. This scene of Barry reversing time is also great because it fully completes his arc in the film. From a boy who shows up late to his job interviews, to a hero who shows up on time to save the world. Now, I know many people will not be a big fan of the Snyder Cut because it may be too long or other films still should have been made beforehand in order for Justice League to be more well-earned. And I agree. However, the Snyder Cut introduced 3 new heroes and 2 of them had an arc that paid off until the end of the film. I honestly don't mind. If a man starts off one way in the beginning and becomes a different man by the end, then you have truly witnessed a story.